Matter and Oobleck.
Hi, I'm YOD Einstein. I have a question to tell you. What do you think? An apple, lemonade, or air in a balloon all possibly have in common? These things might all seem totally different, but there's one important thing in common. They are all matter. Do you know that everything around us is made of matter? Trees, air, and water are examples of matter. We could touch, observe it, and measure it. Matter is anything that has a weight and occupies space. That means has mass and volume. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. All objects have mass. A book is about 1 kilogram. A car is about 1,000 kilograms. We can compare the two objects. So, the car has more mass than the book. Volume is the amount of space taken by the object. That cannot be taken by another object. Look at my bookshelf. The book's taken up all the space. Now there's no more room for other books. As I told you, let's recap a little bit. Matter is anything that has mass and volume. All matter has properties such as mass, volume, shape, texture, density, elasticity, and temperature. These allow us to know the difference between one matter from another. A pencil is brittle, floats, and not soluble. An ice cube is smooth, cold, and stiff. Matter exists in three main forms. There are solids, liquids, and gases. Firstly, solid state of matter. Erasers, books, desks, televisions are examples of solids. Solid matter has a definite shape and volume, but it cannot be compressed. Solid molecules are well organized and bounded together closely. For example, when you grab a book and move it from a small to a bigger box, the book remains the same shape and volume, even when it's pressed. Second, liquid state of matter. Milk, orange juice, oil, and water are examples of liquids. Liquid matter has a definite volume, but its shape depends on its container. Liquids have space between the molecules, which makes it easy to change its shape. Liquids cannot be compressed too. For example, milk changes shape when you pour it from a bottle into a glass. The amount of milk stays the same, but when the milk in a syringe is pressed by pushing in the plunger cannot be pushed in at all. Lastly, gas state of matter. The air, fumes, and the helium used to fill balloons are examples of gases. Gas matter does not only have either a definite shape or volume, but also can be compressed. Gas molecules are well separated and can move around freely the remaining space. For example, when air in a syringe is pressed by pushing or expanded by pulling in the plunger can be pushed or pulled in easily. Matter can change from one state to another. This happens when a substance is cooled or heated. Water is one substance that can exist in all three states of matter. When ice is heated, it turns into a liquid, water. When water is heated, it slowly turns into gas, water vapor. As it cools down, the water vapor slowly cools into water. Then the water freezes into ice. Well, while most things behave like either a solid or liquid, Oobleck can behave like both. What is Oobleck? Oobleck is a suspension of cornstarch and water, making a substance that could be a solid and liquid at the same time, the same temperature. But It depends on how much force you apply. The name Oobleck came from a children's book named Bartholomew and the Oobleck by Dr. Seuss. In this children's story, there was an old king who was tired of everything falling down from the sky every year. So he wanted something new to fall down. He called on his royal magicians. They made Oobleck, a green substance that falls on the whole entire kingdom. It sounds very interesting, and I have good news. If you want Oobleck, you can make it easily at home by yourself. Now, it's time for making fun, sticky, gooey, and a little bit weird Oobleck. Materials. Here's what you need to make Oobleck. 2 cups of cornstarch, 1 cup of water, a bowl, measuring cups, a mixing spoon, and a few drops of food coloring. Welcome to my lab! The first thing to make Oobleck is cornstarch. I'm going to start by pouring 2 cups of cornstarch in a bowl. If you want your Oobleck to have color, add some food coloring to water. I'm going to be making mine green since that's the color of Oobleck in Dr. Seuss' book. Then stir it around. Once you're done, add the colored water into the bowl. Then, start to stir it around a little bit. Make sure that it starts to thicken and it gets a little hard to the touch. You can observe a mixture. When you quickly scrape your fingers across the surface, you'll see a mixture tears and then melts back together again. That means the ingredients are in the right proportion. If it's too watery, add more cornstarch. If it's too thick, add more water. When you're done, it should look like this. Now it's time to play with this awesome Oobleck. First, stir it around a little bit. It moves like water. And if I try to pour it into a glass, it changes its shape to fit. That means its matter is liquid. Next, grab some Oobleck in your hand and squeeze it tightly. It's really hard. It's like a solid ball in your palm. That means its matter is solid right now. And then, slowly open your hands over the bowl and observe what happens next. Once you release the pressure, Oobleck flows out between your fingers like a liquid again. It slowly loses its solid shape. So Oobleck is not like a solid or liquid because it can act like both in the same time at the same room temperature. It acts like a liquid when it's being poured, and it acts like a solid when force is applied. That's what makes it so fun. Do you know why Oobleck behaves the way it does? I'll tell you why. When you place your hands gently and slowly sink into the Oobleck, Oobleck is at rest. The high surface tension of water causes water droplets to surround the starch granules. Water acts like a liquid cushion, allowing the Oobleck to flow freely as liquids. And when your fist hits Oobleck, squeezing is the sudden force that pushes the water out from between the starch granules and jams the starch grains together. The Oobleck acts like a solid. It has a definite shape and makes you feel like it's hard. That is all about Oobleck. Understanding matter, it is essential to understand the lively and amazing world that we live in. If you want to watch more of my videos, please follow me and like and subscribe to my channel. And see you in the next episode. Bye.